Hey guys, it's me, Darth Something, back at you again with another cringy video. If you wonder why I'm using gameplay in this video instead of putting a bunch of pictures in it, that's just because it doesn't take as long to edit, which means I'll hopefully be able to make more videos. But now, in this video, I'm gonna be ranking the villains in Star Wars. Now, I'm only gonna be including the ones that actually appear in the movies. If you wonder which characters I'm gonna include in this video, you can pause it right now and just read the text. Now let's get started. So, at number 16, I have Newt Gunray. Newt Gunray is not the greatest. Honestly, I don't really know what to say about him. I mean, he's just, I don't know. I just don't like him. But since I don't really know what to say about him, I'll just move on to number 15. And now, at number 15, I have Captain Phasma. Now, Phasma is just, I mean, she barely does anything. After being completely wasted in The Force Awakens, everyone was excited to see her in The Last Jedi, because it seemed like she would actually do something this time. But nope, she dies, and she just does absolutely nothing. I know that there's a book about her, but I haven't read it, so yeah. But that's why Phasma is at number 15. Now, at number 14 is General Hux. General Hux isn't that bad, but he's also not very great. In The Force Awakens, he kinda yelled a lot and stuff, but he didn't really add that much to the movie. But in The Last Jedi, he was basically there for comic relief, which, I mean, at least it was funny. Now, I like that Hux seems to have a kinda rivalry with Kylo. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, I think Hux is an alright villain. Now, let's move on to number 13, where I have Supreme Leader Snoke. Now, Snoke looks pretty cool, I think. He looks pretty damn deformed. Now, when we first see him in The Force Awakens, he was kinda a mysterious figure. Like, we didn't know much about him. Not that we know much about him now either, but still. Now, when we first see him in The Last Jedi, he seems pretty pissed at Kylo for being
bested by a girl who had never held a lightsaber.
And now, I know a lot of people think he died way too early, but personally, I'm a huge fan of Snoke's death. It was just such a plot twist. Like, when it happened, I was just so shocked. And I like the fact that he was, overconfident and outsmarted, But now, while I do like his death, that also means we didn't get to see him as much, which is why he isn't higher on the list. Now, sometimes his CGI is pretty bad. Like when he's killed, his CGI looks pretty fake. But yeah, that's why Snoke is at number 13. Now, at number 12, I have Boba Fett. I feel like Boba Fett is a bit overrated. I mean, he looks cool, but that's about it. Well, I guess he did some cool stuff in the Clone Wars, but still. Boba is really overrated, if you ask me. Part of me wishes I put him even lower on the list, but I can't, because he really does look cool. But his death was terrible. And that's basically all I can really say about Boba, so let's move on to number 11, where I have Jango Fett. Jango Fett. So, of course, the clone army consists of his clones. Now, I think Jango looks pretty cool, just like Boba, but not as cool, but still. I like the fact that he uses 2 blaster pistols. It's kind of weird that he hired another bounty hunter to try to assassinate Padme at the start of Attack of the Clones, but whatever, I guess. Now, Jango's death was definitely way better than Boba's, so that's good, I guess. But yeah, I mean, he seems like a pretty great bounty hunter, and yeah, that's all I can really say about him. Let's just move on. So now, at number 10, I have Dryden Voss. Now, I gotta be honest, I've still only seen Solo once, so I don't remember that much about him, but I do remember that he looks pretty cool because of those things in his face or whatever, and if I remember correctly, he isn't in the movie that much, but yeah. I'm sorry for not saying more about why he's at number 10, but I'll really just have to rewatch Solo. Let's just move on. And now at number 9, I have General Grievous. Now, what can I say about Grievous? he looks pretty cool. It's cool that he has 4 lightsabers. In Revenge of the Sith, he's kinda meh, but in the Clone Wars, I think he's a bit better. Now, Grievous can be a bit of a coward at times, which I kinda like. He coughs a lot, which, yeah, that's cool, I guess. But yeah, I think Grievous is a pretty cool character. But now, moving on to number 8, I have Count Dooku. Count Dooku, or Darth Tyrannus, led the Confederacy of Independent Systems during the Clone Wars. He was, of course, the master of Qui-Gon Jinn and the apprentice of Yoda. He was one of the most skilled duelists in the galaxy. I mean, he was over the age of 80, yet he was still stronger than Obi-Wan, and he was even able to take on Yoda. He's one of the few people who have seen use Force Lightning, and he has a pretty cool lightsaber. He's, of course, trained in both Grievous and Ventress. Honestly, I don't really know that much that I can say about him. In the movies, he's an alright character, but I remember that in the Clone Wars he was amazing. Unfortunately, it's been a while since I've seen Clone Wars, and I can't quite think of that much to say in terms of his personality and stuff. And also, I'm just not very experienced when it comes to character development and stuff. So let's just move on to number 7. And now, at number 7, I have Jabba the Hutt. Jabba is a really good villain. So in episode 4 and 5, we hear about this Jabba guy, but we don't actually see him, because he was not in The New Hope, just like Greedo did not shoot first. But then when we see him in Return of the Jedi, we see that he's this giant slug thing. Now, in Return of the Jedi, Jabba was around 600 years old, so that's pretty cool. I like how selfish he is and stuff, and in the Clone Wars movie, he has a baby apparently, which just doesn't feel right to me, but whatever. Jabba's death was pretty cool, and I like the fact that he has a Rancor. He seems to enjoy watching people get killed. That's cool, I guess. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about Jabba the Hutt. So, at number 6, I put Director Krennic. Krennic is an awesome villain, in my opinion. I like the fact that he has a really unique shuttle. I think the reason he got that shuttle was to make it stand out or make him seem special or something like that, if I remember correctly. And he has a cape, which is also awesome. Krennic seems to yell a lot, but I'm fine with that. He stands up to Tarkin and stuff, and I mean, Tarkin basically takes credit for the Death Star and stuff, but I like Krennic's death and how he was killed by his own creation. I remember thinking Vader would kill him, but I guess I was wrong. But yeah, Krennic is definitely a great villain if you ask me. Now, at number 5, I have Grand Moff Tarkin. So, if I'm gonna be completely honest, I think Tarkin's probably the main villain in A New Hope and not Vader. Tarkin, of course, basically took credit for the Death Star in Rogue One, if I remember correctly at least, which I think is pretty awesome. One thing that's really awesome about Tarkin is that Vader seems to respect him. Tarkin's like the only Imperial officer that Vader seems to respect. Now, just like a lot of villains in Star Wars, Tarkin's overconfidence is basically what led to his death. And that's all I'm gonna say about Tarkin. Let's move on to number 4. Okay guys, so at number 4, I have Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is definitely one of my favorite Star Wars characters. I like the parts in The Force Awakens when he gets really mad and just starts destroying stuff. His mask looks really cool. I love his lightsaber. I like the fact that in The Force Awakens he's kind of feeling the pull to light, which is interesting since it's usually the other way around. I really like the part where he kills Han Solo. He thought it would make him stronger, but instead it just made him feel weaker. Some people have a problem with the fact that Rey was able to beat him, but he had just killed his father and been shot by Chewie's bowcaster. But whatever, I guess. But now, while I do really like Kylo Ren in The Force Awakens, I think he's way better in The Last Jedi. I mean, he's conflicted. I like the scenes where he has the Force connection with Rey. And while I did think his mask was really cool, I still really liked that he destroyed it. And then, of course, he does what Vader couldn't. He kills his master and takes over as the new Supreme Leader. Now, honestly, I think Kylo is just a really amazing villain, and I could probably talk about why I like him for hours. But I'll just stop right here. But now, at number 3, I have Darth Maul. I mean, in The Phantom Menace, Darth Maul was really wasted. I mean, he did absolutely nothing. Well, except for being part of the great lightsaber duel at the end of the movie and killing Qui-Gon, but still. He shouldn't have been killed so quickly. Well, technically he survived, but you know what I mean. And Maul also looks really cool, but the reason he's so high on this list is because of the Clone Wars and Rebels. He is absolutely amazing in the Clone Wars and Rebels. He really wants revenge on Obi-Wan, and I mean, he kinda gets it after he kills Satine, but I guess that's not enough for him. And of course he gets the Darksaber and defeats Pre Vizsla and stuff. Then Sidious comes and kills Savage and beats Maul. And then in Rebels, I think he's trying to turn Ezra to the dark side or something, if I remember correctly. He also tries to kill Kanan by pushing him out into space, but Kanan pulls Leia. But now, Maul's death in Rebels was great. When I first saw it, I was really disappointed, but then I actually grew to love the fight he had with Obi-Wan. Or technically, I don't know if you can even call it a fight, but you know what I mean. Then in his last moments, he doesn't even seem mad at Obi-Wan. I mean, Maul's just an amazing character. Oh, and also, he has a double-bladed lightsaber, so that's cool. But now, time to move on to the next character on my list. Only 2 villains left, but you can probably guess who's gonna be number 1. But whatever. Now, at number 2, I have Darth Sidious. So, Sidious is an amazing character, and Ian McDiarmid did an amazing job portraying him. Sidious was able to manipulate the Senate into giving him power. He manipulated Anakin into turning to the dark side. Then he executed Order 66, became Emperor of the Galaxy. I mean, Sidious is just pure evil. His rise to power was really amazing. And even when he's fighting Yoda, who's the only Jedi he truly feared, you can still tell that he's having a good time. I mean, he's laughing throughout the whole fight, basically. That just shows how crazy he can be. Yeah, that's why Palpatine is at number 2. Now, you probably guessed it already, but at number 1, I have Darth Vader. So Darth Vader is just such an amazing character. First of all, he looks really cool. Now, his fall to the dark side was really well done in my opinion. When he was first introduced in A New Hope, you could really just tell that this guy meant business. I love how Vader kills his officers just for failing, and I mean, Vader is really powerful, of course, and that hallway scene in Rogue One was just pure awesomeness. I love Vader's redemption at the end of Return of the Jedi. It was just so amazing. And his death was really sad. Honestly, I don't think I really need to say that much more than that. I mean, we all know just how awesome Vader is. And also, he's probably the most iconic villain of all time. By the way, did you know that in the original trilogy, Vader only has about 34 minutes of screen time? Yeah, I'm serious. But now, let's talk about some things I don't like about him. Nah, I can't think of anything. But now, that's it for my video. Let me know your top 5 or top 3 in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a like and maybe consider subscribing if you haven't already. But now, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you always.